South Africa has signed a memorandum of understanding with Finland and renewed another with the Netherlands. This was on the sidelines of the UN conference, which started on Wednesday in New York. At the core of the deal is the promotion of water security. Water and Sanitation DG Dr. Phillips joins us now from Denver, Colorado in the US to tell us more about this ongoing memorandum of understanding. Dr. Phillips, thank you so much for your time from all the way in the US. It would be early in the morning there for you. Let's start with the water conference in New York, if you don't mind, before we focus on the memorandum of understanding. This would have been a first big trip for the newly appointed Water and Sanitation Minister, but an important one, as security of water globally is something that needs to be brought higher and higher up on the geopolitical agenda.
Yes, that's correct. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers. It's the first international water conference in many years, in about 20 or 30 years. And as we know, water doesn't know the boundaries of countries. So countries need to cooperate and work together to make sure that water is managed well and that it's used sustainably. And we face common threats. Particularly a major theme at the conference was the impact of climate change on water. So many countries are now experiencing that impact in terms of having too much water, sometimes through worse floods than normal, and too little water through drought. So it's important, and it's very useful for countries to share their experiences and to also share knowledge and experiences of what can be done in this changing world and how we can increase our resilience to the impacts of climate change in future.
Yeah, one would imagine that climate change would be top of mind. You mentioned drought there as well, something that South Africa's agriculture sector has experienced in various shapes and forms over the last few years, especially. Can you give us some insight at the conference? What was the messaging that countries such as South Africa and indeed the representatives from the rest of the continent wanted to put on the global agenda? Because that really is what a United Nations gathering of this kind allows you to do.
The messaging was that unless we manage our water resources better, and unless we improve the way we deliver water services, we manage our wastewater treatment works, we manage our catchments so there's less pollution of water, and unless we use water more sparingly and maintain our water infrastructure better, we're going to suffer more from the impacts of climate change. If your water infrastructure and your sanitation infrastructure is not in a very good condition in the first place, then it's going to be much more likely to be adversely affected by climate change events such as droughts and floods. So some of the common themes in the conference was the importance of governing your water sector very well, both in terms of water resource management and ensuring that there's no pollution, but also in terms of having well-governed institutions to deliver water services. In South Africa, it's a major challenge for us. Many of our municipalities are struggling to deliver water services well. There's problems with the reliability of water services, and it essentially relates to the fact that we need to improve the governance of those municipalities and to have the water services more professionally managed. And another key theme in the conference was that we need to form partnerships across society. So if water needs to be used sparingly, then all the citizens and industries in the country need to get on board with that theme of using water sparingly. In addition, if we're going to improve our infrastructure, we need to use all resources in the country. So there needs to be partnerships between government and the private sector, so that the private sector can assist us with investment and their management skills in managing our water services. I think these were some of the common themes that all countries agreed to are important for us to put in place.
And I think any of our viewers in Johannesburg watching this right now will be nodding their heads in agreement, because so many areas in the economic hub like Johannesburg has been struggling with a water delivery over the last few weeks or so. Talk to me now a little bit about this memorandum of understanding that's been signed with Finland and a renewed one with the Netherlands, obviously to do with water security. But, you know, as a layperson, I would think that there is much to learn from a country, especially like the Netherlands, when it comes to the management of water services. Talk to us about the new memorandum with Finland and what you're looking to develop further with the Netherlands.
Yes, so this is the first time we've had a memorandum of agreement with Finland, and the way we have these relationships with our partner countries is that we tend to focus on certain areas with certain countries, and particularly on those areas where those countries have very good experience from which we can learn. So we're going to focus on sharing experiences and knowledge with Finland on the whole area of water resource management. We've been working with the government of the Netherlands in different areas, largely in the areas of water, in the area of water services. And they've been particularly that we've had a program with them called the Blue Deal program, which has been working in a number of catchment areas in South Africa and working with us and a number of municipalities to advise them and to facilitate processes with them, with the Dutch experts and the various spheres of the South African government to try and get those municipalities to manage their catchments better, and in particular to manage their wastewater treatment systems better, so that there's less pollution of the environment and less pollution of water resources. The Dutch have also been helping us with capacity building. There's a program in place called the Wet Skills Program, which is a wonderful program which is an international program, but they have a South African element where young people coming into the water sector are given an international experience of engaging with other young people from other countries in looking at particular different challenges in the water sector and developing solutions to those challenges. Some of our best people now working in the department have come through this Wet Skills program, and it's been a fantastic program in terms of developing new skills and exposing young people to water challenges both locally and internationally. And the Dutch have also been helping us with regard to issues around water governance. They've been providing us with support as the national department in some of the key areas where we need to improve, including, for example, how we do procurement for our water infrastructure projects, national experience of good practice in infrastructure procurement.
Okay, let's hope that relationship goes from strength to strength. That's Water and Sanitation DG Dr. Sean Phillips joining us virtually from Denver, Colorado in the United States. We thank him for his time this afternoon.